January 6th of 2025, the day on which Monday Night Raw will be moving to the popular streaming platform, Netflix. The flagship WWE show has had its home primarily on the USA Network for more than 25 years, with a 5-year stint between 2000 to 2005 on TNN. The Stanford-based promotion is moving to a completely different viewership model, which promises to be a landmark moment in the sports entertainment industry. However, it cannot be denied that the promotion would be venturing into uncharted waters with this decision. Moreover, many things must be addressed regarding the Red Brand's move to the streaming giant. Join us now as we look at 10 unanswered questions on Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix in January 2025. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What's the deal? Netflix and WWE entered into a landmark deal wherein the streaming giant would broadcast the Monday Night Raw show both in and outside the US. The agreement is for 10 years with an option to extend. However, Netflix reserves the right to continue or scrap the deal after 5 years. The future of other WWE brands, Smackdown and NXT, have been discussed in detail later in the video. Edgier, more mature content, TV PG rating to be scrapped? With mature content being the norm, WWE programming was no holds barred during the late 90s and early 2000s as part of the acclaimed Attitude Era. However, it all changed when the worldwide promotion shifted to a TV PG rating in 2008 and thus began the TV PG era. This was done primarily to attract younger audiences to the company's product, but the decision was also heavily influenced by the TV networks that telecasted WWE shows at the time. The wrestling juggernaut's broadcasting partners wanted the content to be toned down in order to cater to an entirely new demographic. I mean, love or hate the PG era, but it did help the WWE reach a wider audience who would have stayed away from wrestling due to its perceived image of showing violence on TV. While that shift was necessary during that period, wrestling fans seem to have evolved in current time, and the Triple H regime is acknowledging it too. The content from the global wrestling phenomenon has been much edgier, particularly in 2024. The Stanford-based promotion has had no qualms in showing blood on its program, a practice that was a strict no not long ago. With Raw moving to Netflix in 2025, the excitement among fans about how the product would look is palpable. Our guess? It'll be a mixture of mature and grounded content to target all age groups. Would it mean that the TV PG rating will be entirely scrapped? That remains to be seen. Ad-free programming. The biggest reason wrestling fanatics go gaga over the prospect of the Red Brand moving on to Netflix is that it will be ad-free. But would it be, really? I mean, although there has been no confirmation from WWE, experts have predicted that the show will have both ad-free and ad-filled plans. Currently, there are approximately 45 minutes of commercials for a 3-hour show, and nearly 30 minutes of commercials for a 2-hour runtime. The WWE Universe will likely have to deal with less advertising time once switching to the streaming conglomerate happen. But how would the promotion manage content for both ad-free and ad-filled subscribers, you ask? Well, experts claim that the wrestlers would mostly lock their opponents in some submission holds during the length of the commercial. Moreover, the Triple H-run company could also include the backstage segments, which are shown as part of a separate show, Raw Talk, into this ad break time for the premium users. But of course, it all depends on whether the longest running episodic show in history would be a 2-hour or 3-hour spectacle. Will it be a 2-hour or a 3-hour show? This is a big question in the fans' mind, especially after Raw's reduction from a 3-hour show to 2 hours recently on the USA Network. In truth, the broadcasting deal between the WWE and the network ran out only at the end of September. The two parties had to sign an extension to ensure the Red Brand has a home for 3 more months. The only catch? The company's flagship show was reduced to a 2-hour runtime per the short-term agreement. Triple H was even explicitly asked about this topic at the Bad Blood post-PLE press conference, and his response was more along the lines of, "We'll see." WWE would probably take a wait-and-watch approach by comparing the viewership numbers of both 2-hour and 3-hour shows. But, whatever the runtime, the audience would want to be entertained. Will WWE soon bring its other popular shows, Smackdown and NXT, to Netflix in the US? For the international audience, it won't only be Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix in 2025. Instead, Smackdown and NXT will also feature on the streaming service. This begs the question, how long before WWE opts to bring both the blue and black and gold brands to Netflix in the States as well? So, for Smackdown, the answer is 5 years, as the global wrestling phenomenon entered into a new deal with the USA Network, which came into effect in October 2024. As for NXT, the developmental brand has also found a recent new home on the CW network, and that broadcasting partnership has also been inked for 5 years. Hence, unless the Triple H regime is planning on debuting a new show on Netflix apart from the red brand, it appears that the US viewers would have to wait for a long time before getting all things WWE under a single umbrella. Would WWE launch other exclusive shows on Netflix? The answer to this query directly depends on how Raw performs on Netflix. If it performs as per expectations, then why not? On the contrary, if the viewership numbers are not up to the mark, the streaming platform would be looking to cut its losses. There's no dearth of performers in the promotion, and it would not be a surprise if WWE does come up with a short runtime show for a 1.5-hour show if both they and their streaming partner feel it's best for business. Will the logo and marketing strategy change? Well, the presence of red in the branding of both Raw and Netflix has made the marketing team's job all the more customary. One thing is sure though, the red brand logo, which has continued since 2019, will indeed be changed under the new broadcasting part. Moreover, the streaming giant is known for its innovative market strategy to promote its products, which are usually cinematic in nature. And how Netflix evolves its advertising game for a wrestling show would be intriguing for marketing buffs. New titles? The WWE Women's Division has long been crying out for a mid-card title in the Men's Intercontinental Championships ilk. It feels like a matter of time before this strap becomes official for the female locker room. Raw is moving to Netflix in 2025, which seems like a perfect time to introduce this women mid-card belt to WWE program. Currently, the female division only vies for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship as a singles belt, and with a plethora of lower card or mid-card women grapplers being a part of the roster, it becomes incredibly difficult to book them without a suitable end goal. Apart from this, any other title added to the mix won't hurt either. Hopefully, the new home of the red brand in 2025 will see the advent of more than one title strap. How would roster shuffle and NXT call-ups work now? So, WWE shifting base for its flagship show naturally means that Netflix would want some of the best talents the company offered. Moving a top star from SmackDown to Raw won't be a big deal for an international audience, but the same cannot be said about the fan. And don't even get us started on how the USA Network would react if most of the Stanford-based promotion's top names were to move to the red brand. The worldwide wrestling conglomerate would have to tread very carefully in this aspect, as it would have to resort to a tremendous balancing act. NXT would also need to step up and provide main roster caliber superstars more frequently than currently. There's little doubt that WWE would have to return to the drawing board to devise a fruitful strategy that would suit all of its broadcasting partners. Let's see how the company manages this juggling act. Will switching from TV to a streaming model boost WWE viewership numbers? While the vast amount of money involved in this gargantuan deal would suggest that viewership numbers are almost sure to shoot up, don't be fooled by the costs involved. Irrespective of what WWE and Netflix might want you to believe, this agreement is nothing short of a gamble. The legacy wrestling business has always been run on TV till now, and predicting accurately how the streaming audience would react to it is nearly impossible. WWE believes its global presence would be enough to attract audiences, regardless of the medium, but Raw is uncertain about moving on to Netflix. Having said that, most of the media consumption in today's world happens on streaming platforms, and this could be a masterful move on the part of the Endeavor-owned wrestling company if the viewership numbers do surge as they expect. Marvelous verdict. Monday Night Raw has been broadcast on TV for over 3 decades. Moving it to Netflix in 2025 marks a seismic shift in how the wrestling audience consumes the WWE product. While both parties are stepping into the unknown with this deal, they would be hoping to change the game. As is common knowledge, in the content world, the viewer decides what works and what doesn't. The Stanford-based promotion and the streaming conglomerate would be hoping that they've cracked the game when it comes to predicting the future of the wrestling business. And that's the end of our video. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to it if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.